welcome to my latest video post.
Dreamer Cats TV.
And please don't forget to post a comment, positive or negative. All these people started out as ordinary amateurs, so what transformed them into global megastars, worthy of being featured on tasty ice cream trade cards like these? Well, let's get to the bottom of it all. In 2005, YouTube said broadcast yourself, and the video upload that started the whole cultural phenomenon was this humble clip. Name me at the zoo, showing that literally anybody can now rise up to become internet king or queen, when for years we've merely been passive viewers. Amusingly, instead of us emulating the celebrities, the big companies are now emulating us. The 1920s was another time that saw an explosion in creativity, courtesy of the motion picture, but also heavily influenced by the First World War. People flooded into the movie theatres in the millions to help them forget the previous decade of doom and gloom. The same thing happened with the swinging 60s. Little known 1950s music genre, Skiffle, inspired many of the greatest British 60s musicians to conquer the world. To block out their memory of the bleak war years, ordinary working class kids joined local skiffle bands, influenced by early jazz and jug bands. As with the 1970s punk movement that famously declared that anybody could now form a band by picking up a guitar and learning 3 simple chords, Skiffle also encouraged an amateur do-it-yourself culture, similar to YouTube. And if you couldn't afford your own musical instruments, it was now cool to build your own, like the T-chess bass, making this unique, didactic music trend accessible to millions of poor British working class kids. So is it any surprise that the Beatles started out in a skiffle group?
First thing we ever recorded was That'll Be the Day.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yeah, that'll be the day when you make me cry.
And what about Led Zeppelin's origins? Well, here's a clip of a young Jimmy Page in his first ever band.
What are your two names? Yours is?
James Page and...
David Hanson. Both from Epsom. You're just learning to play the guitar.
Yes.
Tell me a little more about this skiffle group. You made this instrument, I understand, like Anthony. You're a chap who makes his own instruments too. Yes. Did it take long to make?
Decades later, a similar thing happened when millions of kids searched through boxes of dusty old vinyl records to create brave music and hip-hop, resurrecting trends from ancient civilizations like scientists cloning extinct beasts from the past and mashing them up for the latest generation. Sometimes in order to move forward, you must first move backward down the complex branches of cultural evolution to find interesting alternative pathways to our exciting future. Revolutions of the past have been about destroying things, throwing away the old and replacing it with something brand new, which seems a bit wasteful in our modern age of finite resources. Recycling is all the rage at the moment. It's now fashionable to save the planet this season. Whilst you're here, why not click on a video of the oldest ever adult movie, The First Kiss. Music wouldn't be quite the same if they hadn't have invented a way to record it. Click on the second video to hear the first ever sound recording. Click on the third vid to see the first ever photos, an invention that shook up the art world. And YouTube wouldn't be quite the same without those cute kitty videos. So click on the fourth video to see the first ever cat movie. I've done numerous videos of one of the most creative decades ever, the Roaring Twenties. Click on the first video to vote for your favourite silent movie comedian. The Jazz Age spawned one of the first ever youth movements, the rebellious flappers who famously shunned the traditions of the previous generations, but that didn't stop them from resurrecting fashions from ancient glittering civilizations. The 1920s was such a timeless decade that it still influences artists, movie directors and pop stars of today. And who knows, maybe you'll be one of them in the near future.